Good evening. My name's Rebecca, and this is Your Bourbon Journey. For tonight's cocktails, I promised you last week we're doing something a little fun since Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Tonight we're going to do something that is a little sweet, a little warm, and of course it has bourbon. I'm calling it the Hot Chocolate Bourbon Kiss. I hope that sounds fun to you because I'm ready to get started. So some of the ingredients we're going to need tonight, you can see we have a lot more things on the bar here than we typically do. First off, always need a great bourbon. Tonight we've selected a Maker's Mark, the basic 90 proof. As I've talked about before, it's got a nice soft profile that complements things like Carmel. Second, this is really fun. I've not used this before. It's my first time putting it into a cocktail, is the Brizard white chocolate liqueur. Let me tell you, it is really luscious. I had to make some hard decisions between that and a bourbon cream, and the Brizard won out 100%. Next, we will be using for flavoring our Pappy Van Winkle bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. You might recall that we used that in our smoked maple old fashioned, which was fantastic. We're also going to use some bitters tonight, including our Aztec chocolate bitters. And just for fun, we're going to have some sweet notes. You know, I don't do a lot of sweet notes, but tonight we're going to have some Ghirardelli caramel sauce, some Ghirardelli chocolate sauce, whipped cream, a little bit of cinnamon, and of course, we have to end it with a cherry on top. So I'm very excited to get us started. Let's get going. First, I will say that I chose to make the hot chocolate ahead of time. I chose a mix because I really wanted to focus on the actual cocktail itself versus the making of hot chocolate. And I have it over here warming so to be ready to go when we get to that point in the cocktail. To start us off, we're going to get our glasses prepared with some luscious flavorings. This Ghirardelli caramel sauce, just a little drizzle so that we can feel like we're having some decadence here in our glass. This isn't required, but it sure is fun and adds to the flavor profile. If you love bourbon like I do, you know that so often we enjoy those fantastic caramel notes in our bourbon. Then the chocolate sauce, because it's just going to add a little bit extra to the Swiss Miss Haus Cocoa to make it feel a little bit more special. This is really some nice, thick chocolate sauce. You know, if it's Ghirardelli, it's really kind of a dark chocolate. It's almost fudge-like. And when we tried it in our practice drinks where we were trying some different options, we found that it was a fantastic chocolate to use. So let's start out with our bourbon. This drink is going to call for an ounce and a half of bourbon for each cocktail. Now I'm using my Irish coffee glasses. So we're not going to have a huge amount of hot cocoa in here. We're going to focus on making this a real bourbon cocktail with some other spirits that are going to complement it. Now for that white chocolate liqueur that is so fantastic. I hope you can find this in your store. Again, if it's an issue, I did try it with a Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. It was good with that, but this was a little bit more luscious, I must say. So for this, we're going to use a half ounce of the white chocolate liqueur because it is pretty sweet and it's got a great texture to it. I think that was one of the things I liked about it so much was its texture. Terrific. Now for the Pappy Van Winkle bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. This we're going to go just shy of a half ounce because you don't want that much syrup in your drink, but the maple flavor is going to really complement the chocolate and the caramel. And again, I think that this particular one that's bourbon barrel aged, that just adds a little extra something to it. Now we will use 4 dashes of our Aztec chocolate bitters in each cup. And tonight I'm just mixing it right in the glass because I want to keep everything ready to go with our hot chocolate as we're ready to add that. I do want to give it a quick stir to make sure all those first flavors that we've done with the bourbon and flavorings are all mixed well. And then we will be ready to add our hot chocolate. Now for this, let's just pour it up to where we want it to go, which is going to be right about that chocolate mark there. And it's prepared ahead of time. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And then just keep it warm when you're ready. Which is fantastic. Let's give it another quick stir to make sure the hot chocolate incorporates with our other flavorings that we had. And this would probably be really amazing just like this. But we're getting ready for Valentine's Day, so how about a little whipped cream, right? We have to have some whipped cream on our drink to make it extra special. There we go. All right. Excited about that. I like to add a dash of cinnamon. Nutmeg is also great, but tonight I thought the cinnamon seemed to taste really good with the chocolate, and it was bringing out some of those notes that I really enjoy in my bourbon. So just a light sprinkle of cinnamon on each one. And then because we're calling this a bourbon kiss and we want it to be very festive for Valentine's Day, we're gonna add an actual maraschino cherry on top. You know, I prefer Luxardo most of the time, but this beautiful red, bright red color just seems to fit for Valentine's Day. So I hope you think that looks pretty fun. Now I'm excited to taste it. Here we go. Hot chocolate bourbon kiss. Cheers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not overly sweet, which I appreciate, but you do know you are having a festive cocktail. All those things are coming through together. The whipped cream gives you this texture in your mouth, the hot chocolate, little hint of the maple, as well as that white chocolate complementing the regular chocolate. So I hope this was fun. I hope you will try it. If not for Valentine's Day, then pull it out some night when it's a cool evening and you'd like to have some hot chocolate with a little bit of a kiss and a bit of a kick, right? So thank you for watching. I look forward to sharing again soon. Have a very safe evening. Cheers and dream about this hot chocolate kiss.